Everybody, today we're really excited to be launching Lightdash Data Apps. Data apps are completely custom visualizations that you build with natural language, but they have a live connection to your data warehouse through the Lightdash semantic layer. So that means that you get governed metrics and dimensions, you get row-level security, and you get all of the performance that comes out of the box with the Lightdash semantic layer. So you could build something like an interactive canvas that allows people to move around interactive charts and even leave comments.
A forecasting app where you use historical data from your data warehouse to predict into the future, and you can even add buttons and sliders to do scenario analyses.
You could build completely custom product analytics, including things like building funnels, drilling into user cohorts, and looking at a correlation analysis that shows which features are having the biggest impact on your user cohort. You could even build a custom spreadsheet builder that allows you to use functions, formulas, and anything that you need to service the finance team. Let me show you how this works under the hood, and we'll create our first data app together. So here I have this engineering dashboard. We use this to monitor the velocity of our engineering team, but what I want to do is create a quarterly report based on the exact same queries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to New Data App, and I'm going to create a PDF report. And I'm just going to say here, a quarterly report of engineering velocity, make it clean and ready for our exec board meeting. Focus on Q1. And then I can actually give it my existing engineering velocity dashboard as context too. And I'm going to send this prompt off and I'm going to skip forward. And now my app's finished. So here in the preview, you can see I've got my PDF report. And this is just a much more digestible way for people to get all the information that was on that dashboard. It's actually live sending these queries to the warehouse. You get a network tab that shows you that powering this, you can see the exact metrics, the exact query that's being executed under the hood with a query ID so I can go and dig into it. I could even go and open this in the Explorer so that I can go and see what's going on. So to make this really clear, I'm going to go and change a metric and we'll watch it live change in our PDF. So you can see here, I've got my average cycle time. So I'm going to switch over to my semantic layer and I have here average cycle time. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply it by 10. And I'm going to deploy my semantic layer. And now that's deployed. So if we look here, it says 23 hours cycle time, but we've just changed the definition of this metric. So if I go and press refresh and scroll down, now you can see it's 234 hours. So imagine all of the data apps your team are going to create, and you can automatically update all of the apps in one go by updating the semantic layer. So whether people are building traditional dashboards and charts, whether they're using our Python API and our JavaScript SDK, or whether they're making data apps or making API calls, these all pull the same definitions from one place. And that's the power of using a semantic layer. Instead of baking SQL strings directly into the app, we've essentially decoupled the front ends where you can now generate any front end that you want to from the back end, which is the governed queries and caching and things like that. So one more thing I want to show before I finish up is let me show you one other app. This is a dashboard that I called my pull request command center. But the cool thing is, again, I prompted this just to build a dashboard, but because it uses the built-in row-level security of Lightdash, I can also customize this per user. So you can see it says, good afternoon, Oliver, and it doesn't have that because I've baked in that I'm Oliver, but the apps also have the profile of the person that's logged into Lightdash. So if I shared this with somebody else, they would get their own view. So you can see that this is pre-filtered to all of my open pull requests for Oliver. But if I switch to this other tab where I'm logged in as Xavier, you can see that Xavier's pull requests, there's only 3. And again, to make this in the prompt, I didn't have to say, hey, please create one of these that's like dynamic depending on the person that's logged in. I don't have to tell it who I am. It knows because I'm logged into Lightdash, and the semantic layer has a profile for everybody that's logged in. So all of this comes out of the box. So this is only just shipped. People are still figuring out the breadth of applications that they can make with Lightdash, and it's super exciting. So this is in an open beta, and we'd love for people to go and try it out.